Hi guys, welcome back. I know it has been a little while since we last saw each other. The past 2 months have been absolutely crazy between moving and unpacking and traveling and working and everything in between. And while I haven't been filming videos, I have been working on my books, so there should be some bonus points for that. And I can't wait to share all about that with you guys. But today I thought I would just come on here and say hi and do a fun little video, ASMR inspired. So that's why I'm speaking in more of a soft-spoken voice. And I thought it would be fun to talk about how you can take inspiration from your everyday life. As you may or may not know, I am working on a historical fiction novel currently, and with historical fiction, there's time period, costuming, and materiality in a sense that you have to think about. You certainly do for kind of any period, but definitely if you're trying to be historically accurate. So I thought doing a little show and tell jewelry video would be a fun way to kind of talk about how you can take inspiration from your everyday life in your writing. I've been fortunate enough to inherit jewelry over the years, some costumes, some fine, so I just wanted to dive into that today. And I do have to admit this is a bit of a selfish video because I just personally love jewelry, antique, vintage, modern, and I just love the stories that go along with it. I've personally done a little bit of research into jewelry and the time periods over the past couple years just out of a personal interest, so I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope you enjoy. But I'm going to leave the intro at that and we can get into it.
All right, so let's get started. The pieces that you see here are predominantly vintage costume jewelry. I inherited these from my great aunt, who has since passed away, but she had a lovely collection of fine and costume jewelry. This is a bulk of her costume jewelry here. And if you are wondering about the tray itself, this is not vintage. I actually got this off of Amazon a few years ago, and it's quite a sizable tray, so I really love it. I typically put my perfumes and some jewelry on the tray. If you are curious about perfumes, we could maybe do another video about that. But first, let's look at the jewelry we have here. So we can start with this piece here. This is a bracelet, quite a hefty pendant here on the end, and I've noticed that during this period they really enjoyed floral motifs. So you can see here with this chunky floral heart pendant, has some beautiful stones on it here, little faux pearls, and just a really beautiful heart piece here. Jewelry is such an amazing thing because it can hold a lot of stories and memories. So that is often what I think about when I look at this jewelry, and I do sometimes wear it as well. I think about what might have been the occasion that she had worn it. And often I feel closer to my family members when I do wear the inherited jewelry. So we'll set that aside here. This next pieces are a pair of earrings here. Another thing that was very common during that time, I think especially for my great aunt in particular, she had a lot of clip-on earrings. I think that was partially because she did not have her ears pierced, but I think clip-on earrings were also more common during the 50s and 60s as well. These are beautiful tassel earrings. I have another pair of silver tassel earrings, which I'll show later in a moment, and I actually haven't had a chance to wear these because I do have my ears pierced, so generally I go for earrings with backing, but these are gorgeous and I think still would be applicable to wear during this day. What shall we pick next? So in the center here, you can see we have quite a few bangle bracelets. This is a pretty sizable one. Again, this is all costume jewelry, so this is not real gold, but you can see it's still in very good condition. I think that is a testament of the time there, that they often, even the fake pieces were made very well. So it's something that I kind of mourn a little bit about our current day and age. And things are not always made to last, sometimes intentionally. And you can see even with this costume piece here, there's a engraving. I think it says maybe Monet. You can go a little closer here. Yes, Monet here. But yeah, even the costume jewelry was treated as, you know, worthy of engraving. So you will see that sometimes on these costume jewelry pieces. I personally don't wear a whole lot of bracelets myself. I prefer rings, as you can see, and necklaces, but these are certainly some fun pieces to have. This one is a bit large on me personally, but it is beautiful nonetheless. Set that aside there. So I know I mentioned this, but I just absolutely love jewelry. I find it is just one of those unique things in life that can really set a time and a place in someone's memories for the wearer and for those around them, and just hold some very good feelings and emotions. And I find that this is true for women and men. So I just think it's one of those things in life that really should be cherished. So we'll continue with this beautiful pearl piece here. So this is actually a necklace, choker length with a pearl and gold pendant and some champagne pearl strands here. Of course, these are fake, but it does have a nice engraving on the back, hallmarking here. I personally don't know of this brand, but I'm curious in doing some research about Marvella here. I think that there are a few pieces in this tray from Marvella actually, so it must have been a favorite of my aunt's, but this piece, like many other vintage pieces, have this cool clasp here that slides right in there, and it's meant to be kind of worn around the neck at choker length. This is actually one of my favorite pieces. I've worn it on a few occasions, and I find that it's still wearable even in the modern age today. It's very beautiful. So it wouldn't be a vintage jewelry tray without having brooches. There are several brooches on this tray, so we'll get into each one of them. This is the first one here. Brooches were something that were often worn during that time period, and I think my aunt certainly enjoyed them, so I have several here. And you know, I know brooches aren't traditionally popular today, but I find that they can still be worn in quite a few different ways. You know, of course on the jacket, but also as a clasp as well. Sometimes you can even wear them as a pendant around your neck. So there's a lot of fun ways to approach brooches these days. This one is a cool, I like to think of this more as like a plant motif, maybe like a leaf here and a little flower, but I don't know what you personally see. There are a lot of leaf brooches here, which we'll get into, but this is a pretty cool one, and it looks like this also has a hallmark too. Yes, just another testament to how cherished the costume jewelry was as well. I think that this might be plastic here, but I'm not quite sure, and obviously plated brass, but yeah. Here we have another beautiful pendant. This also has a few rhinestones here, which I personally hadn't noticed before today. But this is another beautiful flower motif. A rose and nice backing here. This is a smaller piece that could be easily worn. I personally haven't worn this one, but I'm looking to wear it more in the future. All right, let's go with this bracelet here. So this is a cool bracelet. Again, I don't personally wear bracelets, so I haven't worn this one too much, but the chain is very vintage-like. It almost looks like a paper clip, if you will. There's a bit of tarnishing. I'm not sure if you can see that. Obviously, this is costume jewelry, but still an excellent example of the pieces during that time. Not sure if this is a hallmarking. Oh, it is. Let's see. We can see that. Oh, looks like it was the same person as this brooch here. So another common example of costume jewelry that was popular during this time. I'm curious if anybody knows the style of this chain. I've personally done a more broad research on the periods overall of jewelry. So this is going back, to 1700s and onwards. So I don't have excellent knowledge in the 50s and 60s in general, and maybe into the 70s too. But curious if anybody has any idea. Certainly a fun piece. The rings I'm wearing right now are just some fun rings for October. We are in October now. This is a fun amber heart piece, sterling silver, that I picked up when I was pretty young, actually, in Canada. I think Canada is known for some of their amber pieces. I might have gotten this in Montreal or Quebec City. This is just a fun little Vivienne Westwood piece. I'm a big fan of Vivienne Westwood. Right, back to the vintage jewelry here. And here are those other tassel earrings. I connected them like this because I didn't want to lose the pair of them. There are a few earrings where I have lost the pair or misplaced them is probably a better way to put it. Let's see if I can untangle this. I probably need to open this other one side too. There we go. So once again, clip-on earrings here. This is certainly an interesting pair. They have the geometric shape on top, just a little reminiscent, I think, of the Art Deco period, personally, but it was certainly fun. I find that, it's an interesting contrast to the almost floral-like essence of the bottom chains here. I personally think that these are jellyfish. That's how I view them, little jellyfish earrings, but I don't know what you personally see, but they're certainly fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying showing you. I also wanted to apologize a little bit. I'm slightly under the weather, so I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but thank you for watching all the same. So let's do this piece here. I picked this one for no particular reason, but I absolutely love it. I think it's a very good example of a nice brooch and really sparkles in the light here with some of these pieces here and how they designed that. Yeah, I love this one. Really pretty here. Obviously has a hallmark as well, BSK. Not sure I'm familiar with that one, but really pretty one here. Again, I feel like this is similar to, a laurel wreath or like leaf motifs that we've been seeing in some of the brooches. I don't know if I'm certain it was common during the time, like the fruit and floral pieces, but I'm not sure if it was a particular favorite of my aunt's here. Maybe she had most of the leaf and floral motifs because she personally enjoyed it. Really nice sparkle on this one though. All right, let us continue here. Here's a really nice silver brooch. Kind of looks like a teardrop, but also perhaps another leaf. I think this may have a hallmark as well. I think that's the same Sarah. Can't see the rest of that, but similar brand to what we saw earlier for some of the other pieces. Beautiful piece there. So you may be wondering what these are. If you're not familiar, I'm pretty sure that these are cufflinks here. A woman's cufflinks, that is. Men certainly wore cufflinks more often back then, but I know women had blazers as well, and these would probably fit on the ends of the sleeves. Very cute little pearls here. I personally have never worn these, nor probably will ever wear these, but they certainly did think of jewelry for everything back then, so this would have adorned your sleeves on your blazer. This is an interesting silver bracelet. It's a little different from some of the other pieces in the collection here. I almost was skeptical that it was even my aunt's in the first place, or maybe somebody else's that had gotten mixed in with hers, because it's not similar to some of the pieces that she would have worn, but maybe an everyday piece. Very cool all the same though. Interesting clasp here. I personally enjoy these clasps. All right, let's pick another bracelet here. So this is a very interesting cuff bracelet. Definitely different than the bangles for sure. Has this contraption in the back here that allows for an extension and can be worn like this. I think this is a bracelet that I would probably consider wearing because it does adhere a little bit more closely to my wrist here and is more almost adjustable in a sense than the bangles, of course, but definitely a very beautiful statement piece. Silver bracelet with a very interesting geometric design here. That over there. And let's go for this brooch here. This is a certainly beautiful brooch. It almost reminds me of Easter and little Easter eggs here. I'm sure she probably wore this in the springtime. I'm not quite sure what these stones are here. And I don't think there's any home marking on the back of this one, but certainly a pretty spring brooch. Definitely wore a lot more brooches back then than they did now. They do now. I'll do another bangle here. This is a interesting, very, very silvery bangle. It's very, almost bright, but interesting twisting pattern here, almost like a rope round. Really cool piece here. And, you know, obviously if you were wearing bangles, you would wear several together. So maybe we can just finish a lot of them. Obviously this one's very different than the rest of them here, so we'll put this aside. But these are somewhat similar, especially these four. These are just some simple silver bangles here. Just a little simple piece. But these are certainly interesting. I wonder if the women of that time really enjoyed listening to them clack on their wrist like that. I like these. They're very pretty. Nice engraving to them. Of course, there's a bit of wear and tear for sure, but I think they're just simply meant for some loud fun. So I do have the pair to these. Of course, they are clip-ons, but I actually really love these. You have a center pearl on top with two larger dangling pearls below. And I actually almost wore these the other night, but I already had a pearl necklace on and I thought it was a bit too much, although one could argue it's never too much. Yeah, I really love these and I do intend to wear them in the future. I wasn't sure how to approach clip-ons before, which seems like a silly thought because even if I have piercers, of course I can wear clip-ons, but yeah, they're quite beautiful. And they make a little bit of noise themselves. I'm sure you're curious about these fun flowers here. They are certainly probably seen better days, but I mean, look at the colors. Definitely different than all the other pieces. I wonder what year this was. Where would someone wear this? They're certainly fun, and actually some of my favorite pieces just because they're so different than anything else. I don't even think that you would see anything like this today, but all right, do this one here. So this is a bit similar to this one, I feel like, or they remind me a little bit of each other. Something definitely to be worn in maybe the springtime, maybe the winter, but I think this is more spring inspired. Laurel brooch here. Looks like there is a hallmark. Same designer. Certainly a favorite of my aunt's here. I wonder if anybody else has jewelry from this designer here. My aunt lived in upstate New York, around Ithaca area, so I don't know if it's a local jeweler or someone that was popular nationally. Certainly a beautiful piece with the pearl and blue, almost faux turquoise. And of course the leaves. Put that there. What to next? All right. So ironically, my aunt's name, my great aunt's name, was Catherine. So we actually share the same first initial, which is very convenient because I can actually enjoy some of her monogram jewelry as well. This is a very cute, very small little brooch K with some rhinestones. I think this is fun. I feel even more connected to my aunt because of that. still a lot more to get through here, so I'll try to go a little faster. This is a cool, interesting piece. Again, I feel like this is a, floral leaf nature motif with this one even, but there's some geometric elements for sure. It's a very cool design. Yeah, I think that's what makes me think of the leaf here, leaf flower. They certainly enjoyed pearls a lot more back then. I feel like pearls are seen as a little bit more classic, maybe even a bit older, but I don't think that they have to be. I think you can wear anything how you enjoy it. So I'll do these together because they do look kind of similar, but one is in gold and the other is silver. They are not, identical, but two leaves. I was trying to look and see if that had a hallmark, but I don't think it does. Just some simple leaf brooches. Every girl needs one of those. All right, continuing on. Another fun leaf piece, leaf brooch. I'm not quite sure if this was intended to be like this or something broke off of here. Maybe that was intended. This is very Greek goddess-like, in my opinion. I actually just went to Greece. That is where I was traveling, so maybe that's just on my mind at the moment. Greece is definitely a beautiful country. Has some very fun jewelry as well that I was able to pick up there. Nothing super expensive, but definitely some fun pieces. If you're interested, I could do a modern jewelry that I wear more regularly video. Of course, we could somehow relate it to writing. But it's also just fun to do some lifestyle videos too. So these are some fun bangles. Again, they're kind of like the brooches back there. They do stand out as kind of a different piece. But I have worn these before because I think I had an occasion to wear these two. And they're certainly really fun. Again, I don't wear bracelets too often, and they do make a lot of noise, but they're just some fun plastic bracelets here. Still in really good shape. Put that back there. All right. We'll do this one here. So this is an interesting piece. It kind of looks like Gothic, maybe a little Art Deco as well, but it almost doesn't, it isn't really truly of that period because I feel like the tell is this little rhinestone here. It's very shiny that I feel like would not be common of that time. It seems like a modern manufactured element there, so it's almost like Art Deco Gothic inspired. It's an interesting piece. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but certainly would be interesting as a clasp. All right, continuing on. Okay, we'll do this one. I'm trying to save some of my favorite pieces for last. This is certainly one of my favorites. Again, even though I'm not a huge fan of bracelets, this is a very beautiful one. I may have worn it on one or two occasions. Even like just how it's connected is very cool. But the beading on the front here, pretty sure this is plastic, but does look kind of like glass. Very, very cool and looks very nice in the light. I love this one. Let's do this guy right here. This is a very fun floral brooch. Another floral one, you're thinking. But I love them. They're beautiful. And little pearl centers. It's yellow, which we haven't seen much of that color. I mean, if you don't consider gold yellow, which I don't. But this is a fun one. Certainly worn probably in the spring. Oh, looks like it's from one of our favorite designers here. I have to look this up. I need to know who this designer is. All right. Okay, what shall we do next? Let's do these here. So these are still clip-on earrings. They have like a screw back like this. Clip-on, I guess more screw-in earrings probably would be the best way to describe it. And they kind of have this cool circular, almost like a victory design here. Very nice. Very common style, I feel like. I'm actually not quite sure if this is costume or real. Certainly the backing looks, fake, but there is some markings here that may lead to otherwise, so that is an investigation for another day. But they're certainly beautiful. Now we have another brooch. Certainly sparkly, as you can tell. The pink rhinestones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And another floral leaf-like motif. This is very fun, but clearly very fake. Certainly catches the eye, though. Might be fun to wear this with like a black outfit. This is one of my absolute favorite pieces. It's a nice brooch, and I have definitely worn this before. It also has some very cool matching clip-on earrings. I just absolutely love looking at this cameo. It's an inverted cameo here. And I mean, it's obviously fake or costume jewelry, but still very pretty. I often set this out on my tray because I enjoy looking at it. This is a cute little heart brooch in black enamel here and little pearls. Just a cute little simple heart piece. This is also one of my favorites too. It's a bracelet with a cute pendant here, but this is not just a pendant. It is also, if I can get this open, a locket. There we go. There's nothing in it, but it's a cool bracelet locket. I just love the way this looks. This big, giant pearl feature. Very nice. Almost kind of looks like a little bit like a pocket watch chain here. Yeah, I love this one. This is a simple little brooch. I know that there are a lot of brooches and certainly a lot of costume jewelry that my aunt had. Every piece that I've shown so far is from my aunt. There are a few in here that are not. We haven't gotten to them yet. This is a cute little floral right here. This is a very, very cool bracelet. I'm not quite sure. I think that these are mother of pearl pieces here, but this is a chunky bracelet. Very cool. I can kind of slip this on a little bit. I think that there's actually a way to unhook this. Yes, here. It's again one of those clasps here. Just really pretty, chunky piece. Very different than the other pieces. Not as feminine. Definitely a statement bracelet here. Now you have another K brooch. I really love this brooch. I am planning to hopefully wear it soon if the occasion comes around, but I also love, again, that we share similar initials, so this is perfect. These are simple screw-on pearl button earrings. Just cute, simple pieces. And we have another heart brooch. So it's in pretty good shape. And we have a rose brooch here. This is not as in good of shape, but a cute little emblem piece. This is one of my absolute favorite pieces as well. It almost gives me, like, you know, when you have those, I don't know the name of them, the bajangle skirts, like almost like the gypsy costume outfits, with the skirt that has all the little coins attached to it. Belly dancer skirts or whatever you want to call them. This is what that reminds me of, but certainly is like very, you know, ornate almost. I really love this one though. It's very, I've never seen anything like it. And it's interesting. You would think almost it might be worn like vertically, but with how the coins lay, it's actually worn horizontally like this. And I don't know if the other side ever had any coins. I don't think so though. Yeah, certainly a fun piece. Wonder what style this was inspired by. So just a few more pieces here. Some simple pearls. This has the Marvella brand on the back, which was similar to the pearl choker that we saw earlier. And these are really cool enamel here, earrings, screw earrings. Yeah, I really love these. These are very artistic here. I'm not sure if there's really any design beyond just blue and green swirls here, but really pretty. So I only have one of these earrings, but it's just such a cool example that I can't get rid of it because it's so electric green, and I don't think there's any piece I've seen like it. I don't know if I could or would ever wear this, but definitely cool. Has geometric influence of the Art Deco, but definitely more modern in a sense. Certainly with the color. And this is actually not my aunt's. This is something that I picked up. I loved it because I felt like it really was an Art Deco, more Art Deco inspired. I don't know if it really is of that period. I don't personally think so, but I do think it's sterling silver and just, oh yes, here, sterling silver, and just beautiful. I personally haven't worn it too much, but I love looking at it and the way that it sparkles. Just really cool piece. I picked that up actually in a thrift shop, or is an antique shop in Chicago. And I believe this might be the last piece here from the costume jewelry selection here, but I saved this one for last because I think there's a bit of a story behind this. I think this may be sterling silver. I think it may also be related to, it could be related to the Army. My uncle, my great uncle was a Marines, so this is what could be related to that. My dad had told me at one point, and I forgot now, but I know that this was definitely something related to a club or career that they were in. I'm not quite sure, what this is from. It obviously hints at the year 60s, so maybe it's a graduation of sorts, but I think it may be related to his time in the Marines. But if you happen to know, let me know. And yeah, that is the costume jewelry. I really hope you enjoyed that. I also have some fine jewelry that I would like to kind of walk through. These are not really from my aunt, that I thought would be fun to show. Not super vintage, but each of these pieces have a story, so we can kind of talk about those. So this is the added bonus that I wanted to share today, just a few more pieces. So we went through most of the costume jewelry from my aunt's collection. These are a few unique pieces I inherited or purchased, but they have interesting stories and are very beautiful, so I wanted to share with you as well as kind of a little extra tidbit at the end here. This I did not purchase from Amazon. This tray I did buy from an antique shop. The same antique shop I actually bought the Art Deco inspired brooch, so definitely will be going back. But yeah, I got this for a steal, really. I really love this little miniature tray. So, first piece I want to show, this is probably the finer jewelry, if you will. This is something that my mother passed down to me. This is a beautiful gold necklace. I think I might have gotten this for my 21st birthday, but I wear this often. Maybe when I graduated college, actually. I love this piece. It's beautiful, even just like standalone. And she also gave me this gold bracelet. I don't wear bracelets too much, so this often does sit in my jewelry box, but it's beautiful. A Figaro chain here. I'm not quite sure with this one. I think it might be a curb chain. I'll have to look that up, but really pretty and great condition. Obviously this is real gold, unlike the other pieces we saw that were costume jewelry. But I really treasure these because they come from my mother, and I know she wore them in a time in her life and really enjoyed them. So I'm careful, but I really enjoy them too. So we'll do these here. These are huge pearls, really interesting, definitely not symmetrical pearls. I think these are saltwater pearls that my father picked up when he was traveling in, I believe, the Philippines. It may have been Thailand, definitely somewhere in Southeast Asia. Really beautiful pink iridescent color. Yeah, these are just some really fun, interesting pearls that are different than the normal white ones that you might see. So they're humongous. Really love those. I think this along with a few other strands were the first pearls I ever got. And when you pick them up abroad, they are sometimes less expensive than buying them in the States. So this is a beautiful silver herringbone necklace, very long. That was my mother's. I have no idea where she picked this up, but I'm so glad she did because it is literally one of my favorite necklaces, made in Italy. And I think I probably stole it off of her or begged her profusely for me to have it, but I really love it. And it's gorgeous. It's really long and I wear it all the time. And I like to layer my jewelry, and I do, mix and match silver and gold, which some people don't love, but I certainly don't mind it. So I will sometimes pair this with even the gold necklace over here. So love, 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 love that one. It's very unique and I've gotten many compliments on it because I don't think you can find herringbone like this so long and so big nowadays without paying a hefty price tag. So this is not a super expensive piece, but it's very beautiful and sentimental. So this kind of is like a collar piece here, and this is all hand beaded. Beautiful. I actually picked this up when I was at a Ukrainian Christmas festival with my family. We often try to go to those when we can and celebrate our heritage. It's certainly relevant for my book that I'm writing, but and that's kind of why I wanted to show this piece, but just the beautiful handmade, hand-beaded piece from the Ukrainian women of Houston. So love, love, love this one. And I've worn it on a few occasions. Definitely different. And finally, I have this beautiful, beautiful gold cluster diamond baguette ring here. This is a vintage ring. I'll take this off. That I picked up and purchased myself for my 24th birthday. I do not wear this often because it was expensive, but it's gorgeous and I love the vintage style. I love the thicker band. Definitely a statement piece. It's absolutely beautiful. Definitely one of my favorite purchases. I thought long and hard about this one before I purchased it, but I love it to this day and very happy that I picked this one up. So that is it. Thank you for indulging me and watching my jewelry show and tell. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please like and comment and subscribe, and definitely let me know in the comments what videos you're interested in seeing. Obviously this was a little segue or different video than what I had done before, but definitely happy to explore these topics as well because I absolutely love it as much as I love writing, and happy to share with you guys. So thank you so much and see you soon.